Good evening. I'm sorry for the delay. Two weeks ago, I wanted to speak about health. I said that I would speak about health, and then I spoke about completely different things. Let's try to speak about health today. Don't be surprised if you ended up finding yourself in a different place. But I don't prepare the lectures. People who prepare, they write what they want to talk about. That's why they stick to what they write. I count in Hashem to save me from the embarrassment. And something comes out in the end. But this shiur, it's good. There's not much to prepare because I learned it in the past few times. So I can basically tell you it's very interesting shiur. And you're lucky that you came. It comes from Hilchot Deot in Rambam. Almost everything we do in Judaism, almost everything comes from the Rambam. Of course, the Rambam did not make it up. It's not one day a person sit and make laws. No. It's all come from the Gemara, who comes from the Torah, who comes from Har Sinai. And, it's all tradition that transfer from generation to generation. A part of the laws in the Rambam, it's called Hilchot Deot. You have Hilchot Yesodei Torah, the foundation of the Torah. You have Hilchot Shuvah, the laws of repentance. You have the laws of Avodah Zarah, worshipping idols. You have the laws of learning Torah, etc., etc. Everything comes from the Gemara. Without the Gemara, we wouldn't know that much what to do. And this is what the Rambam begins. דעות הרבה יש לכל אחד ואחד מבני האדם. People are all different. Each one have different opinions, different ideas. The same way the faces of the people are not equal, the same thing their mind is not equal. פרצופיהם שונים, דעותיהם שונות, their images are different, their way of thinking is also different. Some people, for instance, are very angry. Every little thing they get angry. You ask him, how are you, Mr. Giorgio? It's none of your business. Gets angry. Already ready to kill you. Well, what did I say? I ask you how you feel. No, if I answer you, tomorrow you want my daughter to be your wife. Don't talk. People like this, obviously you don't want to be near them. Even their own wife and children don't want to be near them, I promise you. Why? It's crazy, what? No? Okay. Then you have people that are settled down, they're okay, they're not crazy. They're not going, every little thing bothers them, they're not getting angry. If they finally get angry, it's once every few years. Once in a while, 2 or 3 years, you got him angry. But it's very rare. There are people who are very stuck up. They always look at everyone down. They think, I'm a diamond and all of them are glasses. I am the rose and there are the thorns. Who is this guy to tell me what to wear, what to say, what to do, how to talk? So automatically, he cannot receive any musar, any ethics from anyone. Why? I'm the second God here. You tell me what to do? No, please. Don't push your nose into my business. This is called Gvalev. His heart is above ordinary people. That's how he feels, at least. And some people have very strong desires. Some people are very humbled. They're down to earth. They have a lot of skills, but their nature is they're very down to earth. They sit in conversations, they hardly talk. Not that they don't have interesting things to say. When they finally force them to talk, you see they're the smartest in the room. But they push their head all the way down. Some people are pure body, which means no desires. Not run after food, after women, after money, after diamonds and jewelry and clothing, etc. Only what the body really needs. What do I need? Bread, a little cheese on it, fine, good breakfast, Baruch Hashem. One slice, little cheese. You have cream cheese, fine. You don't have even bread, it's good. Coffee once a day, I'm happy. Don't need this fancy breakfast and don't fancy lunch and how they cut the steak, what they serve it with. All day is planning how my lunch gonna look. And there are people who have a wide nefesh, which means they are very, very full of desires. There are people, no matter what you give them, it's never enough. They get hungrier by the day. The more they get, the more hungry they become. There are people who starve themselves, torture themselves. They look to suffer. Everything, how they can suffer. No, I don't want to enjoy from this. I don't want to do this. I don't want anything. As long as I don't have to take any charity from anyone, I don't want help. Whatever God gave me, fine. Didn't give me anything, I'll starve, no problem. Well, take donation. No, I don't want. Who was like this? You heard Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra? Ibn Ezra, in a Chumash. You have Rashi, what do you have next to it? Ibn Ezra. He translates the whole Chumash. A very giant Chacham. One of the biggest in the last 1,000 years. He was so poor that his student made a joke that if he will bury bodies, nobody will die. Why? He should not make money. People who bury, they make some money, from the funeral. So the student said, Rabbi, you should go and bury the dead. If you bury the dead, nobody will die. Why? Since you're not supposed to make any money, nobody will die. As long as you don't make money. Then you have one time a student, they saw that, they say, you know what, he doesn't want to take charity, he doesn't want to take tzedakah. How do we help our rabbis to stop being so poor? How do we help him? So what happened is they decided to put a wallet on the street full of cash, and he finds it. At least he doesn't feel he took charity. So they saw that today he's coming. One of the students say, here he comes, put the wallet. They put the wallet and they all hide behind the trees. And then they see he walks in the street with his eyes closed. And he walked over the wallet. So they told him the next day, Rabbi, we saw you yesterday walking with your eyes closed all day. What were you doing on the street? He said, I was so hungry for 3 days. I didn't have money to buy myself even one meal. So the starvation killed me. So I started to feel, why, God, why are you torturing me like this? Then I saw a blind person. And I said, wow, how do I have the nerve to complain that I'm a little bit hungry? Look at this guy, all his life, it's all black. So I decided to punish myself to feel today what he feels. And it made me feel very good about my starvation. That's what the student told him, Rabbi, believe me, if you bury the dead, nobody will die. Why? Finally, we put a wallet on the street. That moment you decided to make an experiment. How the blind people feel. You couldn't do it the next day, the day before. Just the hour we put finally a wallet full of cash. So, don't give me anything. Whatever I have. Finish. I don't want anything. And then you have people that they decide to be extremist. If he's a criminal, he's all the way to the end, the worst. If he's a student, all the way to the highest level. Finally, one day he decides to become religious, and he becomes an extremist. What does it mean, an extremist? Everything right the way to the most extreme way. For instance, he comes to yeshiva 2 weeks. 2 weeks is in yeshiva. After he could cut his ponytail, this, that, go to the mikveh, fine. Now they give him for lunch wafers for dessert. Wafers. No, I don't eat wafers. What do you mean you don't eat wafers? No, didn't the Torah say that you're not supposed to be addicted to the pleasure of life? We didn't come here to eat. We eat to live, not live to eat. I don't want cream cakes. I don't want this. I don't want that. What is this? 2 weeks you're religious, you already want to be Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Come on, not good. What do you have to do? You have to go in the middle way, in the beginning at least. Except one thing. 2 things actually. Modesty and pride are 2 very dangerous things. When it comes to pride, go all the way to the humble side. Don't be half proud, half humbled. No, not good. Completely humbled. But everything else, the Rambam say, you have to go in the average way. Which means, not always is good to be fanatic. You know, yesterday I asked in my shiur, in my lecture in Bet Gavriel, a question that I didn't answer in the end. And today many people send me emails and text, what was the answer of this question? I asked, why converts that converted to Judaism, now comes Pesach, they want to sacrifice the Korban Pesach, they want to slaughter the goat, and they all want to participate in one group, because, you know, they have to say who's coming where. I have my goat, who's joining me? And they write the names of all the people who's joining this goat. Before you slaughter it, how many people join that goat? And that's how they know groups, and based on that they feed the people with roasted lamb. So the Chazal say that what happens if, let's say, 30 converts wants to slaughter one goat and make the sacrifice of Pesach? What's the problem? 30 converts are 100% Jews. In high level. 30 Jews. So what? They're born not Jewish, but now they're fully Jewish. They went to the mikveh, they have a new soul, no problem. They cannot do it. They need at least 1 Jew from birth. Why? What's the problem? Because all 30 Baalei Tshuva, people who just became religious 2 months ago, 3 months ago, a year ago, they don't have experience in religion yet. They already know what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. But they don't have experience in halacha. They need 1 Jew from birth that is very experienced to guide them. Why? Maybe they will be too extremist. Did you ever hear such a weird halacha? I'm being honest. What's the problem? Let them be extreme. What? Good. It's machmir, chumrah. Good not to be fanatic in religion.
Because then you can always turn the other way back.
That's not the reason. From here, we learn, it's interesting, that if a person is not ready to be extremist, it's very dangerous for him. If a person doesn't have yet strong foundation, he's talking very high, very, very high. 4 o'clock in the morning, mikveh, growing a beard, put a mask on his face. 2 years from now, you're going to find him with a married woman making sins. It happens to me. One time they brought a guy with a mask to New York from Israel. I'm not telling you names. I know some people would watch the lecture will know who I'm talking about. There's no Lashon Hara because this story is very famous everywhere already. Everybody knows about it. They brought him 2 long peot, and I see one guy hold his hand and walk him around. Why? Because he has a mask on his eyes. So I say, what's this now? Something new, a mask? He say, yeah, he doesn't want to look accidentally at a woman. Now let me ask you a question. What will happen if a man walks in the street and a woman came out not modest? Let's see it make a turn, a woman in his face. And he saw her already. That's it. The image is recorded in a mind. Is that a sin or not?
No.
First second, no. From the second and on, it's a sin. Because the first second you are forced. It wasn't your choice. The second is already 100% your choice. Everything in life is like this. What you force, you force. It's not in your hand. So I see this guy comes, I see a young guy in his, and that time he was in his 30s. I told one of my students that was with me in that place, I told him, this is all show off. It's fake. He say, why? I say, I know this guy. He was with me in high school. The biggest crook and the biggest criminal in the school all of a sudden became bigger than the Baba Sali. The Baba Sali didn't go with a mask. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai didn't have a mask. The Ari HaKadosh didn't have a mask. But this Mr. X has a mask. A mask. He come to the airport, the Goya over there in El Al or in Continental, she says, sir, I have to see your face. No, you don't want to see my face. You see my face, your eyes will burn. I told him, there is a rule in life. When a person has a sickness, mental sickness, something spiritual, he, without realizing, is doing strange thing to cover it up. This is a sign that something that he's doing is fishy here. A year or two later, that guy called me from Israel. You're not going to believe what happened. What? He just escaped from Israel. They're all looking for him. They want to kill him. He was making scenes with married women. Mamash like this. And how did you know? I said, what did I know? What? I know very simple. What the book said, that's it. I know the biggest Rav Ovadia put a mask? No. Rav Eliashiv put a mask? No. Rav Ben Zion Abba Shaul put a mask? No. All these fakers that do it, it's all fake. It's all baloney. Why? It's bring business. They make themselves an image like the holy. And all the fools run to give them money. You understand? You know, I tell you something. One time, there was in the southern Israel, one person came around the yeshiva in a religious community, and he was pretending that he's a Baba, like a holy Kabbalist. Then we had the guy that used to be in our yeshiva in Monsey. Now he moved to that city in the south. And I once told him, whenever you see this kind of people, first thing, if you want to know if they're real or not, open the Gemara. Open the Gemara somewhere and come ask them a question from the Gemara. And then you see if they know anything. If they know Gemara, then there is a chance that maybe they're really a little bit holy. We'll see. We have to check. We have to continue to investigate. If they don't know anything, right away you know they are fakers. He came to ask him a question from the Gemara. He said, but he told him something about the Tosfot. He didn't know which side is Rashi, which side is Tosfot. He didn't know. Which means he's in a level of second grade. You know the kids that go to yeshiva and they begin to learn Mishnah, Gemara. That's it. He started to mumble all kinds of things, and the guy, he knows. He didn't leave him alone. Then he called his friend, which is his brother-in-law. They both attacked him until he ran away. But there are two that's smart. They know right away that he's a crook. There are thousands like this walking around, putting ads in a newspaper. Come, we'll make you a kamea. Not only they don't help you, they make your situation much worse and take away your money. Why? It's your fault. You deserve it. You deserve it. Yes. If you don't follow the real Torah, you deserve that all these crooks will make fun at you. Why not? If a person is a fool, why should we have mercy on him? How many times you heard people are warning from all these things? One person came to Rav Eliashiv. He told him that he got a special tikkun from one of them. Rav Eliashiv told him, forget about it, don't waste your time. Come, I'll give you a bracha, it's much better. I'll give you a bracha, it's much better. Don't believe in this hocus pocus. Nothing good comes out of it. So, if a person goes too suspiciously to the extreme side, there is a chance that something is fishy here. Something is fishy here. Why? In his subconscious, he's trying to cover for it. One time, 25 years ago, there was another one of these crooks. Lehavdil, for a change, that old crooks knew a lot of Torah. Most of the Bible today, they have no idea what Torah is. They don't know anything. But that one was really had a very sharp mouth. When he talked, he hypnotized the audience. That's how he grabbed a lot of people to follow him. And one woman came to complain about him that he's not modest, the way he speaks to her, the way he looks at her, the question he asks her. So they decided to put a candy camera. It was primitive 25 years ago. So they hid a camera somewhere to see if it's true what the women complain about him or not. And then they found a lot worse things, even that he does other bad things with kids, with young kids. Forget about it. Mamash, a complete mental case, this person is. Complete. Mamash, sick person. Sick person needs to be in hospital behind bars. No other way. But he was in a committee of many rabbis. And they made a meeting, and they said there is a case of someone who molests women and children and does bad things. We want to decide among us what punishment we should give him. So we want your opinions. There was, I think, 30-something rabbis over there. Each one gave his punishment. Who gave the worst punishment by far out of everyone? Him. And they played the video. And then he saw his talking about, he gave the word, you fool. They're just describing everything you've been doing almost every day to people. What does he do? Why? He felt the need to give the worst punishment to remove any suspicion from him. You understand how it works or not? Same thing, people that are crooks. They talk about crooks. Kill him. Throw him out. Let's put flyers on him. This, that. Check. What's going on? This guy became so fanatic about it. This is it. But if you see a person is normal, he listens. I'm not saying you have to give him a prize. You have to hear, you have to calculate what good to do, what not to do. That's more normal. Let's give some more examples. 2 edges. One edge and the opposite edge. A person can go all the way to the left, all the way to the right. It's not good, the Rambam says. A person should not go to the extreme. He has to go in the middle way, in an average way. Except modesty and pride. What does it mean, modesty? Let me read to you a little bit. What does it mean, modesty? I know you never heard that before. It's better late than never, no? A person should not look at any woman. It's a sin. Just looking at a woman, enjoying from her beauty, it's a sin from the Torah. And the Torah says, "Lo taturu achre levavchem v'achre einechem." Even a single woman, not only a married woman. Looking at a married woman is a bigger sin. But looking at a non-married woman just for fun, it's a big sin as well. When is a person allowed to look at her? One time. If they have to go on a date, or they ask him if you're interested to marry her or to date her for marriage, then he must look at her carefully once to see if he may like her, he like her beauty, he like everything that he see. Yes, and then he has to say, yeah, I'm interested or not, and that's it. After that, he's not allowed anymore to focus on her. Nothing. You already know who you're getting. No, there's no permission to stare and enjoy. No. Then, someone who is looking at a married woman, all his good turns into bad. Some of the things I skip. I don't want to make you fall from the chair. Maybe you're not in a level to hear it. I'm only going to say things that maybe you're able to bear. Someone who watches his eyes from looking at the ladies has the merit to accept the Spirit of God, the Shekhinah. Someone who looks has no chance to see. Then, from what age a person is not allowed to look at a woman? From what age? You see the little girls playing in a neighborhood, 3, 4. Is that a problem? From what age it becomes a problem? 13 in the previous generation used to be mothers already. In case you didn't know. Huh? Anywhere between 9 and 12 depend on the woman. So since we're not going to start calculating how she mature, 9 and older. 9 and older. Also, not allowed to bring these girls into the men's section in a shul. They have to be by the ladies section. Then, there are 3 different levels of sins by looking at a woman. Don't get bored, the women. You have to know what to teach your sons one day. Not you, the husband will have to teach, but still, it's better to know. What are the 3 levels of the sins? Obviously, the worst one is when a person looks and thinking about the sin. Then, what happened if he doesn't look at the sin? He doesn't think about the sin. When he looks at her, he just enjoys her beauty, like looking at a nice picture. Hashem created such a pretty thing. All of a sudden it became a mitzvah in his eyes. I'm praising Hashem, what? For the beautiful view. It reminds me, Rav Steinman. Rav Steinman is one of the Gdolei Ador. He was on a plane. There is a wealthy guy in Monsey, Glick his name. He's a diamond dealer and he has a private jet. So Rav Steinman, when he goes, he takes that private jet. They take him. He has a pilot and everything. So they went to Canada, and on the way back to New York, they go above the Niagara Falls. So Mr. Glick told the pilot, I want you to go down and go very close to the Niagara and make a circle. I want to show Rav Steinman how great is the creation of Hashem. So the plane goes around, and now they come very close. You see all the water from the window, but Rav Steinman was on the other side. He has to come to the other side of the plane. So they say, Rabbi, Niflaot Abriya, the wonders of Hashem's creation, come. It's great to be impressed. So the rabbi got up. He's almost 100 years old, 97, 98 now. That was a few years ago, this story. Still was in his 90s. He got up, he made one step forward, he came back, and he sat. He didn't go to the window. So they said, what happened, Rabbi? He said, when I got up, I started to think, why did I get up? Is this to give Hashem, to praise Hashem for the wonder of His creation? Or out of curiosity? I was thinking, and then I came to the conclusion that I got up for egoistic reasons, for curiosity, not for Hashem. I don't want to see. If I was in a level to come and see and really give a good praise to Hashem, yes, I go and see and I'm very impressed. But I really want to see because I'm curious. All these guys, I'm going on a trip to India. India, Hashem Yerachem, you go to such an impure place? No, Rabbi, you know how beautiful it is. It's the creation of Hashem. He goes to Goa on the beach. Why? He wants to praise Hashem for the drugs He created. What are you telling stories? The wonder of the creation. No. So, What happens if a person look and enjoy? What's his punishment? Who knows? What's the punishment? Now we are talking about a modest woman. Not modest woman, multiply it by 100. You know, in New Square, it's 20 minutes north from Monsey, there is a town of Hasidim from New Square. You know, over there, women and men do not walk in the same side of the street. One sidewalk for women, one sidewalk for men. Because men and women come, you walk in a little sidewalk, 10 girls come in front of you. There's no way to go. No, where are you going to go? Break your head. So they made two sides of the street. What happened if a person walks in the street and a woman walks in front of him and there's no way he can see? He has to walk to the side of the street. Not allowed to walk behind her, even if it's his wife. His wife is allowed to look at his wife. What's the problem? But all the people who see it, they do not know it's his wife. It's Chilul Hashem. People see him with a yarmulke. Say, look at this religious guy, walk behind his woman. A man, religious man, is not allowed to hug his wife and walk in the street like all these lovers of Manhattan nights. How many stars the lovers that sits on a bench in a Central Park see every night? How many stars, do you know? Depends how much they fell in love. If they really love, they don't count even one star. Rabbi, it's mitzvah. If the people only knew how much they have to love and share and respect their wives, what's the red line? You know, the minimum obligation, they'll pull their hair off their head. What Hashem wants from a man to do, and what does he really do? I'm talking religious men. Not religious men, forget about it. You know?
What's the punishment?
Lo yenake midina shel gehenom. He cannot enter heaven for his good things before he pass through hell. No other way. Unless if he make real tshuva in his life. Yeah, if he makes real tshuva. But again, don't think to make tshuva it's easy. It's very difficult. Every sin you have to sweat a lot until you take it away from your file. What do you think? Just by eating peanuts in a lecture and make noise and disturb the speaker, you're going to go express to heaven? Huh? What do you think? In Hebrew we say, Amevin Yavin. How do you say Amevin Yavin in English? Huh? That's too long. It has to be in 2 words. Then, is a woman allowed to look at the man?
Yes. No.
I hope you're not married. Whoever said yes. A woman allowed to look briefly at the man, but not to focus on. What happens if the man is 90 years old? Looks like this, and the woman come. You're allowed to look at her or not? Come on, leave him alone. He can hardly remember his name. Or he looks at the girl. Is that a sin for him, like a 20 years old guy, or he already dismissed? Same thing exactly. What happens if a man looks at a 70 years old woman without plastic surgeries? Because today, with all the cosmetic, you don't know anymore who is what. You see a woman and another woman, one is the mother, one is the daughter. You're not sure who's the mother here. So, not allowed. You know, Rabbi Akiva Iger and the Khatam Sofer were married. He was married to his daughter. And Rabbi Akiva Iger, the Khatam Sofer, told his wife, which was the daughter of Rabbi Akiva Iger. There was 2 giants of the generation in Hungary. So the Chatan Sofer married the daughter of the biggest Chacham maybe in the world at that time. You see his commentary on the Gemara. It's a giant. He knew the whole Talmud by heart without a doubt, because he was able to tell you each subject in what pages they appear. All subjects in the Talmud. Mamash, like a computer. I was a very old man, and one time his daughter died. His daughter got married to another huge rabbi. His name is the Chatan Sofer. She died. And he got remarried. One time there was some kind of a party, and everybody came to his house. So he told his new wife, pretend that you are the daughter of Rabbi Akiva Iger. Why? They never told him that his daughter died. They didn't want to break his heart. He was busy all day learning Torah. So he said, pretend that you are his daughter. So she said, can I pretend that I'm his daughter? He won't know that I'm not his daughter. I don't even look like his daughter. Nothing. So maybe we're looking like a little bit. Blonde, blue eyes, same height. No, maybe you get confused, he's old. He said, don't worry. I promised you that this man in his whole life did not look in any lady, not even once. He doesn't know how his daughter look, I promise you. Don't worry about it.
Somebody can't look at their own child?
No, I didn't say they can. I just say who was Rabbi Akiva Iger. You got it? Rabbi Akiva Iger. Once his daughter became, 10, 11, 12, when she became a woman, for sure she never looked at her, so don't worry. Especially now, you're married to me. She was married before she died. And he came the whole night, and he didn't realize it's not his daughter. He didn't ask, where is my daughter? Who is this woman? Didn't look. You think that it's not possible? I had a rabbi in yeshiva 14 years ago, was teaching Gemara. I was learning with him every day 2.5 hours. And every lunch break, I used to drive him to home with my cars for days, for weeks, for months. Every day I'm driving him in a car. Every day! One time I drove on the street, I came to a stop sign, and I saw from my side that he's crossing the street. Walking with his bag full of books. He crossed the street, and I'm blocking his way. And I'm trying to call him from the window. Rabbi, and I see he goes around the car, goes to the back of the car, and he goes around. So now he came from the other side. So I opened that window. I said, Rabbi. He turns around. I said, come, I give you a ride. So he gets in the car. I said, well, you didn't recognize my car? He said, I'm sorry, I never looked at your car. Every day I'm driving him in a car. Today, a person with no Torah, as soon as somebody comes to pick him up with a car, what's the first thing he does? Check in Google how much this car worth. I had one guy, I set him up on a date, not far from Monsey. He came with a very expensive Mercedes. I told him, I suggest you leave your Mercedes in my driveway, take my lousy car to the date. Why? You'll never know if this girl marry you or your car. He almost was convinced. But when he saw my car, he gave up the pleasure. It was only 10 miles to drive, not even, back and forth. He got used to a luxury car. The idea is, if a person thinks he came to this world to enjoy from this, is wrong. It's not a sin to enjoy the beautiful things that Hashem made, don't get me wrong. We are not Christians that teach themselves that the more you suffer, the more it's better. No. Hashem sends us enough suffering as a part of our test. We don't have to run on the street to look for suffering. This religion, Judaism, is not being a masochist and try to torture yourself as much as possible. No. It's true that some people reach such a high level that they got allergic to physical pleasure. It's not an exaggeration. You give them food that is too delicious, they couldn't enjoy. They made up a story of one person that wasn't chewing his food. He put it in his mouth and swallowing it. Why? He say, if I'm going to start enjoying all these delicious flavors, then the more I eat, the more I'm going to become addicted to it. I punish myself. I just swallow it like this. I don't have a desire for food, because he knew that he has strong desire for food. So he said, you know what? Let me train myself. For a few months, I just swallow. Why? Like this, I don't care what food they serve. Cold, hot, delicious, salt, not salt, paprika, who cares? I swallow, I don't enjoy the taste. Up, I put and I swallow, finished. When you enjoy the flavor, when you chew, if you just put a piece, right away you swallow. You don't feel anything. You know, Rabbi Akiva Iger that I told you about, they called him to get on a shidduch, to go on a shidduch. You know, he's the father of the girl that died. But when he went to meet his date, so they sent 2 rabbis from the yeshiva to check how much Torah he knows. So, you know, it was a dinner, and there these 2 rabbis from the yeshiva were supposed to speak words of Torah, and then after that, he's supposed to talk. So, what happened is over there, you know, they say all kinds of things, and then they ask him questions, and he pretend he doesn't know the answers. They wanted to test him, so he didn't know anything. So they got very angry. What? They wasted our time. We came with carriages for days until we got here. This doesn't speak a word. So after that, when they left, his uncle came to him and said, what happened, Akiva? What, you're not interested in this girl? So why did you waste their time to come all the way? He said, no, I'm interested in a girl. But the problem is that these rabbis spoke such nonsense that if I would answer, it would make them look very bad, because they didn't speak the right words. They made mistakes in what they say. So I decided not to embarrass them, so I pretend I don't know. His whole life depends on a moment. Imagine you finally have an interview. You're going to meet the daughter of the biggest Rav, or a big tzadikah, and you don't want to insult the people, and you give up. You pretend you don't know. You got the point who was this person is? That's why every rot of Torah he wrote is in a Talmud for eternity. And what we write, if we're lucky, our children will read one day in a diary. Let's just hope it's not going to be in a Holocaust museum like many other Jews. One Jew, they put him in Siberia in a jail. And they used to bring food in a piece of paper. So he used to write words of Torah. Then after he had a pile of them, he wrote on that. He threw it from the window of the jail to the street. And he wrote, dear finder, the person who find it, if you are a Jew, I'm never going to get out of this jail. Please bring this to printing. And one of the books that we have today is that book. One Jew came, he found it, and he took it. They printed it, and it came out. Why? If Hashem is happy from you, out of nowhere, your book's going to come out. It's not happy from you, everyone can print a book. What's the problem? Maybe it will never come out. Then, what happens if a person look at his relatives, aunt, cousin, grandmother, mother, daughter, granddaughter, sister-in-law, daughter-in-law, etc. Allowed or not allowed? Okay, so listen. To look at his mother-in-law, to focus on her, not allowed. And his kala, the daughter-in-law, his son's wife, not allowed. Also, your aunt wants to kiss you. I know it's very popular by the Bukharian. Kiss, by mistake she kissed the wall already. So many kisses she gave. You know, without kisses, Rabbi, you offend them. You offend them, Rabbi. There's no permission. Not your cousins, not your aunts, nobody. Mother allowed to kiss your mother. Daughter also allowed. If she married already, leave her alone. She belongs to her husband. It's no respect. But your sister, what happened now your sister? If your sister is still single, you're allowed to kiss her, but this is an act of fools. And if she married, that's even more embarrassing, that she's already a married woman, you come to her, she's 30 years old, you kiss her like this. Say, yeah, your sister, I know, yeah, you don't think about your sister bad. But remember, it's not only about what you think, about what looks out to the public.
That doesn't look bad. That would look bad the opposite way.
Who say everyone knows she's your sister?
But I mean, if you're at like a...
Somebody filming the video, then next month somebody watched that video, he doesn't know. See a person with yarmulke kissed a woman. Doesn't know. There are people with yarmulke who kiss women. For hello, every day, yeah. I don't know what's in their mind, why they put the yarmulke for. Better off not to do it with the yarmulke. They go, every time they see a woman, they come to the house, he has yarmulke, and he kisses women. One time I went to a lecture in near the Whitestone Bridge. How do you call that nice neighborhood over there? Huh?
Malba.
No.
Riverhead?
Point, something point.
Oh, square point?
I don't know, whatever, doesn't matter. A neighborhood with beautiful apartments over there. So I go and I give a lecture. A lot of guys and girls are coming. I see everyone who comes to the house kiss the married woman of the house. All the friends of her husband, everyone come. First thing, they come to the woman, give her a kiss. This is a Shomer Shabbat couple. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I asked the guy, you don't care that every man kiss your wife? What is this? I see a man touch my wife with his finger, I'll sit on the floor for 7 days crying. So kill me. Rabbi, it's only hello. Change your hello. It's only hello. Next thing the hello will be who knows what. It's only hello.
What about your grandmother?
Grandmother allowed, אבל again, you know. Then, today, listen good now. In this generation, we found something very interesting. Listen good, it's very common. All kinds of people who sit alone with women in rooms and talk to them about their personal problems without anybody around. Puts her in a room, 2 hours. He talks to her about ha and da. And then when you come to confront him, what are you doing? It's ugly. People are talking, it's Chilul Hashem, it's allowed, it's a mitzvah. A kosher person never agreed to go into a hidden room that nobody can come in and speak to a woman. Never. No matter what happened. He talks to her in front of people. Everyone can come in. People walk in, people walk out, fine. There's nothing to hide. And plus, he cannot focus on her image. You know, he blurry. Sometimes you have to train yourself how to look at people. You don't look at them with focus. You look at them, it's like a tree. You don't focus on a tree. You see a tree, but you don't think about the tree. You think about other things. You don't focus. It's like the lens of your eyes can focus or not focus. If you don't focus, you really don't see anything. If you focus, that's a big problem. And that's a big problem. Big problem. Many bad things come out of it. Very bad things. The only ones who are allowed to look at the woman is the judges, the rabbis, when she converts. She goes into, they must see it, otherwise she's not a Jew. They have to sign that she went into the mikveh. But what do you think? They really see her? They're far away. They don't see anything. They just see that she went into the water from far away. Just for a second, and finished. Then, as another very common problem. One second. There's a very, very bad problem. Every couple who got married, what do they do in their house? Big picture of their wedding night. That every psycho who comes to their house, every Guido, every mental case, first thing he sees, he looks at his wife with her wedding gown and all this makeup on her. Who say it's modest? The reality is a kosher woman never allow anyone to take picture of herself. Ever. Why? I don't have any more control what's going to be with my pictures. They're out there. Who knows what people can do with that? I'll tell you a story. One time, a woman broke up with her boyfriend and became religious. And then, pretty woman, smart girl, everyone you set her up with, in the last minute, everything breaks apart. So she went to one tzaddik, and he started to ask her, do you have maybe non-modest picture of you from your previous life by some of these guys? She said, well, maybe, I don't know, I can't have control. Who was your last boyfriend? She said, somebody. So how did you break up with him? Did you break it up or he broke it up? She said, I broke it up. Was he angry? Was he upset? She said, yes, he would like to continue, but I didn't want him anymore. She said, can you get him to come to me? She said, I'm not in touch with him. She said, no, not you. Have somebody call him and tell him I want to see him. So the guy agreed to come. So he came to him. That was in Israel. He told him, do me a favor. So a big Rav. He gave respect, the guy. He said, can I check your wallet 1 second? The guy said, want to check my wallet? He doesn't know he know the girl. He called him separately. He said, yeah, I want to check. So he thought, maybe he wants to give me an advice. He gave him his wallet. He opened the wallet. He took a picture of her. Not modest. He has her picture in his wallet after months that he broke up with her. He's still thinking about her every day and looking at her. Closed her mazal. Right away he ripped the picture. What are you doing? Ah! He said, I want you to promise me now that you forget this girl out of your mind completely. Say, forget about her. She has to get married and you ruin her mazal. A month later she got engaged. Then there was another guy. He came to Rav Zilberstein. He said, Rabbi, I'm 35 years old. I'm a very wealthy guy. I'm not foolish. I don't look bad. I never get married. What's going on? I'm Baal Tshuva for a few years already. I'm religious. Everything out of nowhere is not working out. It's mamash like a curse on me. And the rabbi said, I'll give you a bracha. Hopefully, Bezrat Hashem will help and you get married. What can I do? I'm Eliyahu Hanavi. I'll give you a bracha. Maybe it will work. What do I have to lose? Say a few words. Maybe it will work. So, through the conversation, he said, Rabbi, if you're already giving me bracha, maybe you give my mother also a bracha. So why does she need a bracha? In general, she doesn't feel so good. You know, she's an older woman, you know. If he's 35, she's at least close to 60, no? So he says, yeah, she lives alone for so many years. She needs help from Hashem. So why she lives long? You say, yeah, my father died when I was a kid. And she never got married. So he say, she never tried to get married. Rabbi Zilberstein asked him, she never tried to get married? He said, no, she would love to get married, but I didn't agree. So he said to him, what do you mean you didn't agree? He said, I'm not going to let another man enter my father's bedroom. So Rabbi Zilberstein told him, your ears should listen to your mouth. You coming to me to complain that your luck is finished, is closed, every girl you date is not working out. You just told me the reason. Midah keneged midah. Don't you know Hashem does to us everything measure for measure? You finished the life of your mother all these years. You made her lonely. Hashem keeps you lonely. Give your mother the okay to get married. Right away, probably you get married. It's very simple, your case. He told his mother, I apologize, please forgive me for not letting you get married all these years. 6 months later, they were already dancing in his wedding. After that day, 6 months later, he was already married, which means he got engaged faster and all that. Midah keneged midah. It's all midah keneged midah. You know, one couple, they boyfriend and girlfriend, and now they became religious. And when they became religious, they found out that she's divorced and the guy is a Kohen. They didn't know it's not allowed. They come to the rabbi, Rabbi, we heard that we cannot get married. What are we going to do now? Do something. The rabbi said, what do you mean do something? What, I'm Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm Hashem, who am I? I mean, the Torah doesn't give permission to Kohen to marry Grusha, a divorced woman. I said, Rabbi, wow, we've been together for years. We finally decided to be religious. We want to establish a kosher home. The rabbi said to them, all I can do is, after you leave, I'm going to sit and cry to Hashem, to have mercy on both of you. I know it's breaking the heart, but to give you permission to violate one word of the Torah, come on. Let's hope that Hashem will do something. Whatever, I don't know. They leave the place. 2 days later, or a day later, the guy gets a call from his father in the United States. Originally he's from America, this guy. Son, I'm very sick in a hospital. The doctors don't give me that much of a chance. Maybe I have another day or two to live. Please come to the hospital. Right away, he takes the first plane. He didn't even know his father in such condition. Didn't tell him. Now it's serious. That's it. It's last hours. Quickly he gets to the United States. He comes to the hospital. His father holds his hand. He said, I want to tell you a secret, but I want you to promise me you'll never get angry at me for that. So, well, what happened? He said, I have a secret that I never dare to tell you, but I want you to tell me before I die that you forgive me for sure. Yeah, okay, Father, I'll forgive you. Tell me what it is. He said, you're not my biological son. I adopted you when you were a baby. Which means, the guy said, yes! Yeah! The father was getting ready to get a punch in his face. Wow! What happened? The father, maybe they brought the father back to life. What happened? You're not angry? No! I can get married! I can get married to my love. I'm not a real Kohen. The rabbi was crying for him. Who knows why Hashem did it? He told him it's not a real Kohen. Any other scenario, it would disconnect the oxygen from a fire. All these years I live in a lie. Now he made a party. They got married. You never know. So pictures from your engagement party, from your marriage, you, your wife, all the family in the table. Come on. What is this? If it's men only, fine. Women, everywhere you go in a house, picture here, picture there, picture there.
From households too.
Yeah, that's a big mistake. That's why he writes about it. This is a common mistake. You want to put in your bedroom, nobody enter your bedroom. When your husband is not home, you want to look at him, fine. Your wife is not home, you miss her already, she went shopping, in 10 minutes she'll return. 10 minutes, you can see her. I have a friend, his wife cannot be one day without him. Yes, I'm serious. Now, her brother was in a hospital, they had to go to out of state. So she went, after one day, he was forced to leave everything and go be with her for weeks there. Cannot be in his business. So I told him, what is this? Why, your wife cannot stay a few days without you and you only go for Shabbat? He said, no, that's the way with her. I don't know what to tell you. A few hours she's not with me, she go crazy. So he said, Hashem gave me such a good wife, such a kosher, great wife. The minimum I can do with her is to be with her all the time. See? A smart guy. Why not? She does for me. I'm obligated to do for her. What? Yes. He wanted to, yeah.
Regarding for your thing that you said, the rabbi even from far away, when someone convert, why they put any kosher lady or kosher wife of...
Because a lady cannot be a witness. There's a rule in the Torah that only man who's a shomer Shabbat, and we know that he's a kosher person, can be a witness. A goy cannot be a witness. A slave cannot be a witness. A woman cannot be a witness. Kids under bar mitzvah cannot be a witness. A Jew that is a mechalel Shabbat is like 100% like a goy. He cannot be a witness. The list of how many people can be witnesses is very, very limited. You understand? That's why. So a woman cannot be a witness. Even a woman comes, she says, I cheated on my husband, he doesn't have to believe her. She want to get. That's why she's lying. She knows he doesn't want to give her a get. So she comes, she make up a story. Now the Beit Din has to force him to get her a get. Because a woman who cheated on her husband is not allowed to ever touch her again. The marriage is broken for eternity, that's it. Min Shamayim, Hashem cut between their souls after she did such a thing. So every second she stay with him after, it's a sin. Now she knows the truth, so she has to get up and leave. But if she hides it, she lives in a sin. But if she comes and say it, don't have to believe you, you're a liar. What do you mean? Why are you a liar? You want to get rid of me, and you know I don't want to give you a get. Every woman comes and say, oh, you know, I have a boyfriend. One time. Now the Beit Din will force me to give you a get. The laws of the Torah are much more deeper and much more complicated than what the ordinary people knows. Sometimes, when a person doesn't see the entire picture, it sometimes look hard to believe. Sometimes when you learn it, you are surprised. Wow, how can it be? Where the logic? I don't get it. 2 or 3 years later, you get the whole picture. This is what we say in the Torah, Mishpatei Hashem emet, tzadeku yachdav. The sentences of God is the truth. They are right when they're all together, combined. If you take one thing out here, one thing out of there, you not always see it. But when you begin to see the entire picture, now everything becomes more clear. Many, many things, one connects to another. It's brilliant, and it's like an ocean. There's no end to it. If you see how many laws, you can't believe it. That's why only a Talmid Chacham can appreciate really a greater Talmid Chacham than himself. Like sometimes people ask me, tell me, who was bigger? This rabbi, this chief rabbi, or that chief rabbi? Who is bigger? He is known as one of the biggest in the world, and he knows. Who is bigger? So what do I answer? In order for me to know which one of them is bigger, I have to be at least in their level. Not a drop less. If I'll be in their level, then I can tell you he's a little bit greater than him. But since I'm not 1% of one of them, how can I make a comment which one is greater? No, we have no understanding. Do you understand when we say Rav Eliashiv, who are we talking about? Here he is 101 years old. If we take all the rabbis that you know in Queens, all of them, take all of them, 500, 700, 5,000, whatever you have, and put all their knowledge on the scale, and then you take the brain of Rav Eliashiv and put on the other side of the scale will break. And I will let you decide to which side. There's nothing to compare בכלל. 60 years, almost 20 hours a day, he sat in the same chair with the same standard from morning to night straight, without missing a day, 60 years. What do you think? You become Rav Eliashiv because you have a beautiful white beard? I tell you a story. There is in the internet a little clip of half an hour that somebody with the video camera went into his home. I promise you, this is better than a seminar. Just to see at 2 o'clock at night how we learn, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Now I want to tell you something. One time a man with a hat and a beard with a boy came to ask him for a bracha. And the people of his family said that the Rav is busy right now, he cannot come out. And the person said, I have a story to tell you. So the person was telling the wife and the people out there what happened. He said, you see me? I wasn't born a Jew. I'm a convert. No. So what do you now decided to tell us that you're a convert? He said, I used to be the goy that Rav Eliashiv sell the chametz to. That's how I met him. And one time I came and I waited 2 hours for him to have time for me to sit on the papers that I buy all the chametz of all the community. And the 2 hours that I saw how this person is, I decided that moment I must be a Jew. people like this in other nations you don't have. I knew it. And that moment I made a decision, I have to convert, and this is my son. He was born already a Jew. And I bring him to Rav, give him a bracha. He has bar mitzvah soon. Just by looking at him, the guy became religious. You know, I have a cousin. He's a very, very big Talmid Chacham. Very big. And one time, a student brought a young guy in his 20s to my cousin and said, Rabbi, give him a bracha. My cousin, he looks at him, he says, what do you want me to give you a bracha? So one of the guys said, Rabbi, you know who this guy is? He's a grandson of Rav Eliashiv, 4th generation. It's the son of his grandson. He has a son, grandson, and this boy. So my cousin say, your grandfather is the most important person in the world. You come to me for bracha? You connected to the top authority in the world. Why do you need to come to me? In another 50 years, maybe I get to a drop of your grandfather. So what do you, I mean, if grandfather is a giant, according to every generation, not only according to this generation. So he said to him, yeah, what do I have to lose? I'm here already. I hear a lot about you. Give me a bracha. So he gave him a bracha. Then he said, I give you a bracha in one condition. What? That you tell me something unique about your grandfather. He said, actually, I want to tell you something. I know it's hard to believe. But right now, I live with him for 4 months. I take care of him. You know, I bring the garbage, I do, you know, I bring some bread to the house. I live there, I come in and out. 4 months I'm in the same apartment with him. He did not speak to me one word. He's not in this world. He is so deep into the books. He's here, but he's really not here. 4 months and he didn't speak to me one word. One word. You come to your house, just you and your wife, 5,000 words in a minute. Ta, 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 ta. You heard what she bought for the wedding? New car, this neighbor, I don't like it, this, that. So much nonsense in one day. Not only talk when it's urgent. You understand how you become a giant? What do you think? It's a joke? Yeah, there's people out of this world. It's good. We can fantasize. Maybe one day we'll be like this. Maybe. It's fantasy. Sometimes living in a positive illusion, in the end we reach something. We dream to be like this guy. We become 1% eventually. It's better than nothing. Time is running out. So, a person should not enter a bedroom of anyone. You go to visit in your friend's house, even if your friend is a fool to invite you to his bedroom to see some kind of a problem over there, don't go in. It's not modest to see the beds where your friend and his wife staying. There's no manners. What are you doing in their bedroom? Even if the key takes you there, this is the border, you don't go in. You're curious? Jump into the lake. Don't go in. Then also it's not good to look at the moon. Only in Birkat HaLevana, 3 seconds a month. That's it. You look, fine, ended, finished. Not good to look at the face of an angry person. When a person is angry, he gets red, he sweats, and he screams, don't look at his face. The Satan is right in between his eyes. It's not good to look at the face of a person that is Down syndrome or retarded. Not good to look at his face also. Why? It ruins your own soul by looking at them. Because by looking at a face to face, you receive energy from these people. Also not allowed to look at the rainbow. And when the Kohanim makes Birkat Kohanim, not allowed to look at their hands when they do Yivarchecha Hashem V'Yishmerecha. Not good to look at monkeys and elephants in a safari. Not good to look at the face of a wicked person, even in a picture. If you know this person is Mechalel Shabbat, don't focus on his face. Not good. If he's a wicked goy, also. The Stipler, the father of Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky, he had Ruach HaKodesh without a doubt. When David Ben-Gurion, the first prime minister of Israel, came to visit the Chazon Ish, he didn't come to visit the Chazon Ish because he was admiring religion. They had a very important meeting. He wanted to make all the religious yeshiva guys go to the army. So he wanted the Chazon Ish to say that they have to go to the army, because he knew without his permission nobody will go to the army. They don't care about what he says. So the Stipler was the brother-in-law of the Chazon Ish. He ran away from the house moments before Ben Gurion arrived. Everybody came to see the prime minister, and he ran away. And the people who were standing there waiting for him to come, he screamed at them, "Why are you standing to look at his face? Run away from here, it's not good." When he was in his last years of his life, he needed glasses. And his student knew that he was such a careful face, he never looked in his own life and something that you are not permitted to look. Not women, not idols, not wicked people, none of this. He was very careful with his eyes, very careful. All of a sudden, he needed glasses. So one of his students asked him, "Rabbi, we know nothing happened to a person by coincidence. Everything bad supposedly happens to us is because of something wrong that we did. 20 years ago, 50 years ago, a year ago, even in our previous life. That for sure we're guilty of something. What did you do in your life that you deserve to have glasses?" So he told him, "A few weeks ago, I walked in the street in Bnei Brak, I turned my face, and for 2 seconds, by mistake, I focused on the front page of a secular newspaper, Yediot Achronot. That moment I knew that's it, my vision will go away. A week later, I couldn't see. Now I need glasses. Why? All my life, I never looked once in these things. I'm very careful with what I look at. That was the first time I look at that, and here you go. You see the results." The Chafetz Chaim, when he was 83 years old, his student say something, and he said to him, "Come, come." He opened his mouth. He said, "Look at my teeth." 83 years old. Not one cavity. Not one feeling, nothing. He said, "You see, all my life I watch my mouth, never to say the wrong thing. And Hashem watched my mouth also. Midah keneged midah. No dentist, no nothing. Today, before you born, already dentist. Little kids, 6 cavities already. Then when these teeth falling, then new teeth again. Also not allowed to look at a snake. Don't look at the face of a snake. Not allowed to talk too much to the women. Only hello, that's it. She tells you hello, you're allowed to answer hello, finished. Not how are you? How's your husband doing? How's your kids? What grade your son goes to this year? What do you care about all these things? Huh? What, you're a marriage counselor? What are you? Your husband is a good husband? He come home on time? And push his nose to other people. A man should not take haircut by a woman. Why? It's no way in the world that a woman will touch him like this and he's not going to have a thought about her. And his wife, no problem. I wish all the men let the wife give them haircut. Very good. Because today you don't know about the man barber who he is. Today the world is so corrupted, you don't know who to stay away from. You don't know. I can tell you one thing, that nobody gave me a haircut for the last 20 years. Nobody. The hair cut by itself. Something happened, I get up, the hair is, I don't know, it's falling once in a while. In Hebrew we say, Amevin Yavin. That's it. I say what I could. The rest you understand. Then, what happens if a person is very sick in bed and the nurse is a woman? There's no choice, but he's a man, he has to ask for the man. What happens if he goes to the dentist and all dentists have assistants that are women? She touch him, move his face, move your ears, do here, take it, come again, bend down. Not allowed. Not allowed. Tell your dentist if he's religious to change it to a man, to get an assistant.
I think when you're in a dentist, the last thing you think about is a woman.
Depends who.
How about a female? Could they have a male dentist?
Oh, if there is no female dentist, yes. The rule by women is like this. Gynecologists, dentists, any kind of doctor. If there is a woman that she's just as good as other men, she must go to the woman, even if it takes another man to make an appointment. If the woman is not as good as the man is much better than the woman, then she has permitted, because it's already could be pikuach nefesh, the health, it's permitted. But it's only permitted because when a man is busy with his work, he doesn't have time to start thinking about sins, but today for sure it's not true. 2,000 years ago, Oman eno mera melachto. A professional is busy with his profession, not with his customers. But today it's not true. When I had my first son, my wife, we still lived in Lower East Side. We had a doctor in Midtown, Manhattan. So we went to visit the doctor. You know, it's first birth. No, they make a big deal out of it, especially here in America. What can I do? My wife is American. She wants to remember that moment, giving birth. So she wants to take me to meet the doctor. No, so I go to the office. I see these two Jewish doctors. And I started to argue with them. They argue about how great they are and how they're going to do it. And I said to them, you take too much credit for yourself. You're not even doing 1%. It's all Hashem. Please don't take too much credit. Of course, they didn't like it. So one of them started to argue with me. Yeah, of course, God. No, he didn't say there's no God or what God. No, he admitted God. But without us, baby can die. So it's very important you be nice to us. So on the way out, I told my wife, this doctor is crazy. She told me, no, you are crazy. I told her, I'm telling you, this doctor is crazy. She said, what? Just because he spoke like this? I said, I'm telling you, it's not normal. 4 or 5 years later, she runs. How did you know? Did you hear about the doctor who made his initial on a woman when he delivered her? Did you hear about? That's him. I told you it's crazy. He took his knife and made on the stomach of a woman the initial of his name. And he lost his license. I think he even went to jail or something. That's the one. And Hashem sent me over there to tell him the truth in his face, this Rasha. Now I felt lucky. Imagine I got him angry. Good thing he didn't do it to my wife. Maybe he got more crazy after 5 years. So you see that a person could go through medical school, be a very talented doctor, whatever, and still be a crazy, very dangerous person. Can happen to lawyers, can happen to judges. The rule is, if a person has no fear from God, the chance that he will be dangerous to society is 1000% higher. That doesn't mean that religious people cannot be dangerous. Don't be ever naive. Don't trust anyone you don't know. Kapdeu v'chashdeu. Give respect and at the same time suspect him that it's the biggest criminal. You don't know who he is. Today we see more and more people that look religious, but they have nothing to do with religion. They don't open a book 1 day a week, 1 hour a week. Nothing. It's all, they walk with their beard and their big belly with their thing, collect money. They come You ask them to say Dvar Torah, 20 years, they give the same thing. 5 minutes, they already know it by heart. Everywhere they go, they say the same Dvar Torah. But they don't have Hirah from Hashem because they don't learn Torah. I tell you, take the biggest rabbi you know. Tell him 1 week you off from learning Torah. I promise you, after a week you won't recognize him. 1 week! He is a person who knows thousands of books by heart. Take him out of the Torah, 1 week that he doesn't touch a book, you already see a tremendous drop in his spiritual level. Because remember, the Torah is antibiotic, spiritual, to a growing, constant growing infection in the soul of a person. The Yetzer Hara makes an infection inside the heart of a person, more and more and more, by the scenes, by looking at bad things, hearing bad things, living in a bad environment. The infection is constantly growing. The only thing, that can reduce the infection is Torah and Musar, not only regular Torah. Avraham met Sarah won't lower your infection. You have to hear how wicked you are, how you have to wake up, what do you do wrong, how stingy you are, what a cheater you are. You have a great wife at home and you cheat on her. Instead of coming and supporting her and helping her, what do? Stick a knife to her back and you think you're going to heaven. This is what you have to hear. You have to hear the truth. Most people don't have the guts to tell you the truth. The reason I was late here, I was sitting with 2 people. 2 guys in their 20s driving a Bentley. One of them, his family worth more than $1 billion. He didn't expect to hear the truth in his face like he heard it from me. I won't see a penny for him, no problem, but I told him the truth. Trying to make his point that it's possible to be religious and drive and live in mansions and servants and be businessmen. And I started to tell him, no, this is what the Torah say. And the reason that a person has money because Hashem puts him here to use the money to save souls. What do you think? So, who knows, maybe he's going to be clever enough one day to digest what he heard. But most people, well, how are you, sir? Yeah, wow, your family is so great. You're doing so much for the community. So yeah, let's say he liked you and he gave you a nice check. Then you come to Shamayim, Hashem say you finished. Why? Finally, I got this guy to sit with you for an hour to hear the truth. And you went and kissed his hand. Everyone does it. I wasn't interested that another person will kiss his hand. I wanted him to hear that he didn't even start to be religious 1%. That's what I wanted him to hear. To wake up. To wake up. You understand? To understand what bracha is, what Shabbat is, eating bread without netilah. And they call themselves religious. You understand? Getting up without Birkat Hamazon. Not to talk about no kippah, no tzitzit, no nothing. And they're really imagining that they are religious. Believe me, they're not. They really think we are very religious, they think. This is it. Why? So I told him, one of the biggest punishment that a person can get, and most cases this is the way it is to become very rich. So it went like this. So I told him the last 3 verses in Parashat Vayetchanan. Why Hashem give billions of dollars to someone that he doesn't really, his action doesn't show that he deserves it. We have to cry for him. Unless if he does the right thing with his money. But reality shows that 1 out of 1,000 does the right thing. The rest taking all the money for themselves. So I gave them an example of a father who has 20 kids in Israel. And 1 kid is here in America, and the father gives him $1 million, and he says, go take care of all my children. Take whatever you need for yourself. You are the first one who has position on the money. And the rest of the money, help your brothers. What does he do? He takes everything for himself. So I asked him, somebody like this, the father likes him or not? He said, no, the father wouldn't like him. He was egoistic. I said, that's what the rich people do. Hashem give the 5-10% of the Jews that are very wealthy all the money to distribute. 1 out of 1,000 does his job. The rest take all the money for their stomach. You understand why it's very bad? Because in the end you have to pay for every dollar you did not distribute. That's the truth. And this kind of work reduce your infection. That's what Pirkei Avot say. Don't love people who compliment you. Oh, how great you are. We appreciate your help. Thank you. No, that's not going to get you anywhere. You want someone to constantly beat you up. Wake up, lazy. What is this? 9 o'clock, you're still in bed. Go to prayer like a normal person. What is this 2-minute Shema Israel in your bedroom with your slippers and pyjama? This is how you stand in front of Hashem? This is how you say Birkat Hamazon? This is how you learn Torah? This is how you conduct business with your customers? This is how you talk to your wife? It's all come from ego and being selfish and egoistic and the worst, ungrateful. And I want to tell you in the name of the Torah that someone that is ungrateful is exactly contradicting the whole purpose of Judaism. Because Judaism means gratefulness. And if a person is ungrateful to the people who we owe gratitude the most to, if his parents helped him out, they support him, they give him, he owes them a lot of gratitude. If his father-in-law put him in business, bought him a place, bought him a car, giving him allowance, then he owes him a lot. It's not a joke. Oh, it was 5 years ago. No, it's forever. Forever and ever. You know, the big rabbis in Israel, one grandson of someone who used to learn with him when they were kids came to get a bracha for him, he stopped everything. And he took the boy into the room and gave him so much love and attention. They asked him, Rabbi, what do you care about this young boy? Give him a bracha and finish. He said, oh, his grandfather did a lot of favors for me when we were young. Well, his grandfather, it was in Europe. Now what? Out of respect to, I owe so much to his grandfather, then for me it's like the same thing. Doing for him is like doing for him. You understand? I always tell people, you go on the Verrazano Bridge, they rob you $11 just to pass, these crooks. And what do you say? When they give you $1 change, thank you. The thief comes to steal from you, you say thank you. And Hashem gives you everything that you have, no thank you, no nothing. Your wife does for you, no thank you. Why the soup is cold? Why you forgot to pay the mortgage? Why you want me to come home at 7? You know, he has a lot of problems. You understand? Where are you playing cards with my friends? Come home, you have a wife. Don't you think you're annoying? Why are you calling me at work? It's the 3rd time you're calling already. Why doesn't he talk like this to his boss? It's much more annoying. Because he's going to feel the kick, you know where. When the punishment is immediate, he doesn't dare to make a beep. Yes, sir, yes, sir. But his wife, what can she do? She give him a snack? She won't make him an omelette for breakfast? What's going to happen with her? He already has a plan for her in case she won't react according to his orders. You understand? And then drinking alcohol and all kinds of other things. And then in the end, he said, well, you know, I keep Shabbat. I do this, I do this. Don't focus on the little you do. If you focus on the little you do, you won't get anywhere. Focus on what you do not do. Where do I have to wake up? What new? What else I have to do? What don't I do right? And also, the way to educate yourself is through penalties. Person, it's very hard to be on your own and be disciplined. No. But you have to make a system. Okay, every time I'm not going to pray in the shul, penalty. Every time I'm going to speak not nice to my wife, I got to buy her a gift up to such and such. Every time I will do this and this to my kids, this is going to be my punishment. Every time I'm not going to learn Torah as I have to, every minute I miss, it's going to be this penalty. When it hurts, you change. When the tickets come, one guy got a ticket, he missed the day, the court day. Right away, $70 penalty, $100 this, that. You say, what's going on here? What, they crazy? Why, I missed it by a day, right away, they attack me from all over. I said, that's why everyone pay and nobody miss a day besides you, the fool. Nobody miss a day. You know why? Because it hurts. Why everyone pay their tickets? Who likes to pay tickets? In Israel, nobody paid the tickets. Nobody. Nobody paid the fee for the television, nothing. Why? The system is not so strict yet. They're learning. They're learning. Everything in America, they learn. But in a city, let's say you owe the city, you got lots of tickets, you don't pay. They don't do anything. You come, one day you come and say, listen, I owe you 10,000 shekel, I give you 50 shekel, let's close the deal. Okay, give me the money, finished, waive everything. But one day it's going to change. If they'll make the system like here, before you got the ticket, you run to pay it. Maybe you forget. Why? People only understand pain. Right? That's it. You know, I tell you, a man told his wife, they already have 5 girls. We'll finish with this because I got to run. I have another lecture now. So he said to his wife, listen, we already have 5 girls. I'm not interested in another girl. Make sure the next one will be a boy. He didn't know that it's up to the man more than the woman, if it's a boy or a girl. But he's putting pressure on his wife. So the wife got very nervous. Now the whole pregnancy, she's eating her nails. Why? What happened if it's a girl? Throw me out of the house. So she goes to the hospital. He said, I'm not coming with you this time. If it's a girl, you and her stay there. Don't come home. I'm not coming. Okay. So she goes into the labor room. And the doctor sees that she's so upset, so nervous. Say, you okay, ma'am? She said, I'm very nervous. So she tells him the story. She was looking for somebody to talk to. So the doctor said, what a stupid husband you have. But don't worry, everything will work out. Leave it to me. The doctor said, leave it to me. They give birth, what? A girl. 6th girl in a row. So the woman said, that's it. My marriage is over. I'm finished. Where will I go? The doctor said, I told you, leave it to me. Don't worry, everything will work out. He called up the man. He said, sir, Mazal Tov! You have a boy. Yeah, boy, man. Fine. After that, it's a but. There's always a but. But you have to come to my office. We have to talk in 4 eyes, privately. What happened, doctor? Don't get me scared. I'm afraid I have some bad news for you. What? The boy has only 1 kidney who grows and the other one does not grow. So right away we have to make a surgery and remove 1 kidney before it's going to be too late. And what happened to his life? Is going to be okay after that? If that would be the only problem, yeah, but then there's more other problems. He has a problem with his lung and this, and the doctor gave him 5 or 6 things. Let's hope that he will survive. The way it looks, we don't give that much of a chance. Come. So after all that, the guy say, it's all my fault. I told my wife, if it's a girl, don't bring her now. Hashem punish me. The guy is crying. He cries in the office. What am I going to do? What a fool I am. So the doctor said, that's what you told your wife? Are you normal? You crazy? People are dying to have kids. Hashem give you a girl, you complain? Say, yeah, doctor, you're right. I'm such a fool. He said, how much would you give for a healthy girl now? How much? Wouldn't you give $1 million? I give my life for it. Mazal Tov, you have a healthy girl. Doctor, don't fool me. Promise you, go see her. Doctor. He comes to his wife. You understand? What changed? Nothing changed. The stupidity came out. Now you finally can see. This is us. We laugh at him. We are like this. Everyone with this different stupidity. Be'ezrat Hashem will be clever and wiser.